All right, next up we got Kanye West is Dying by Jamari.
So Kanye West has always been someone who is known to freely speak his mind no matter what anyone thinks, or how many people might disagree with his opinions.
The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yo.
Halfway. Take a few steps back.
You
ain't got the
answers, man.
It was a Jewish doctor.
You said the album was coming out on Saturday. It didn't come out. What happened? I didn't finish it.
He has long been known for being
be
someone
honest.
who relishes in stirring the pot and creating controversy. And for a long time it seemed like no matter what he did or said, it did not matter because he was winning on such a massive scale.
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Many consider him to be one of the most innovative artists of all time, and he has fearlessly pushed the envelope and shaped the sounds of several generations of music with his keen ability to create. And that's not to even mention his billionaire status that he achieved mostly through his clothing creations, and of course the Yeezy brand in general with the shoes. Because even in the midst of all the smoke and mirrors, Kanye always showed himself to be a visionary and an amazing businessman who simply would not take no for an answer. But over the last couple of years, it's growing more and more apparent that Kanye seems to have overextended his welcome, both in the entertainment and major business industry. He has gone through a lot personally with his divorce from Kim Kardashian. Obviously, he had the whole debacle with Adidas cutting him off due to his Twitter rants. He was
tough.
in massive debt.
The boy lost
They froze
billions
his
of dollars
bank
in-
account. He
in
was coming out
days.
every other week saying some outlandish stuff. And recently, it's really felt like the first time in history that Kanye is losing impact from literally every standpoint that matters to him, whether that be in business or in music or merely his public perception. And that's not to even mention his very fast marriage to Bianca Censori, who he constantly has parading
Bro, he
around
heard
with no
her,
clothes
like,
on.
freaking
Like I'm
out of
talking
nowhere,
about
bro.
completely see-through, like it looks like they wrapped her naked body up with some saran wrap. Like recently I saw this video where Kanye is out at dinner with a ton of people, and his girl is sitting there just straight up topless. And everyone is sitting around acting like it's
Bro.
completely normal. Is sitting there
He has nothing on, bro. Yo. This is out of hand, bro.
just straight up topless. And everyone is sitting around acting like it's completely normal. Like, hey, dude
That's
with the
insane.
shades in the corner, you're not fooling anyone. You know it's a cool
He catch a hell of
69
a
in
peep.
that room and you were making eye contact with those biddies. Now recently Kanye released his newest album, Vultures 2, and it was met with a lot of criticism with a lot of Kanye's lifelong
What?
fans wondering what the hell was going on. Because while Kanye might have been wild and doing whatever he wanted, one thing that always stayed consistent was that he was going to make some good sounding music for his fans. And it really did feel like that was something that was never gonna change. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't making Graduation or even The Life of Pablo, but he was still capable of releasing a good project. Amongst many criticisms for this album, people mainly complained about the lack of straight up sound quality on this record.
Ye was in the studio working on the album and accidentally hit submit.
This sounds like something they would release a year after his death.
Oh, that's
Everything new is
crazy.
either low quality, AI, or songs heard years ago.
Garbage mixing, lazy verses, unfinished songs, Ye can do way better.
My
Jesus.
goat is washed.
Now I tried to get through this whole project last night,
Oh.
and it's a very rough listen. In fact, it's
It
so
was kinda
poorly
mid, though.
made that it makes Lil Pump's Harvard Dropout look like a masterpiece. And I know Kanye likes to do the thing where he basically starts putting out patch notes on his music, but no amount of remixing or adding or subtracting from these songs is going to make this a listenable experience, much less an enjoyable one. Now this has
Skip
left
through, like,
even
half
the
of
biggest
it.
Kanye stands in shambles. It's kind of like when the Patriots lost Tom Brady and the fans didn't know what to do with themselves because they were so used to being the perennial favorite for damn near 2 decades. But now this alleged whistleblower has come forward, and it might shed some light on Kanye's very strange behavior over the last couple of years. Milo Yiannopoulos is the man who posted this information about Kanye. He is a very controversial political figure who I will say has historically not been the most trustworthy source. and he's definitely said some really strange shit in the past. Despite all of that, when Kanye was going through that arc where he wanted to run for president and was hanging out with the likes of Nick Fuentes and all that other weird shit that he was doing, well, during that time, Milo was apparently working for Kanye on this potential political campaign, and though that movement seems to have now lost all momentum, Kanye had hired Milo once again to be the chief of staff at Yeezy Apparel in April of this year, only for him to step down a month later over a disagreement with the direction of the company where Kanye now wanted to make adult films. Regardless of all of that, Milo would take to Twitter to blow his alleged whistle on what's been going on. Regardless of all with the direction of the company where Kanye now wanted to make adult films.
What happened to God?
Regardless of all of that, Milo would take to Twitter to blow his alleged whistle on what's been going on with Kanye. There is a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist, Thomas Connolly. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous, laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. Earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye hooked on nitrous, blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something that he knew I'd have to resign over.
Earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye hooked on nitrous. Blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something he knew I'd have to resign over because I had told him so. The resurrection of his longtime idol fantasy of making.
Because I had told him so. The resurrection of his longtime idol fantasy of making corn. Thomas Connolly is a dangerous predator who targets African American celebrities into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds, as I suspect he did to Lil Yachty. He must be stopped. Whose mouth he puts fake diamonds, as I suspect.
Don't tell me Yachty got fake diamonds in his mouth. Oh, nah. Say it ain't so.
He did to Lil Yachty. He must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board last week to that end. Milo would also share this video where he says that Kanye is off the laughing gas.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the nitrous.
And then he would later post this alleged affidavit, which is a written statement that is signed under oath to verify that the information in the document is true. Now here once again he calls out the dentist Thomas Connolly, accusing him of the unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to the wealthy, famous patient for explicit recreational use, the physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connolly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon, charging more than $50,000 per month for this service, continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and concern, instruction to the patient in the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home, knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthesiast or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction, the abandonment of said patient to the self-destructive consequences of said dependence, showing indifference or worse to the prospect of permanent damage in the brain and in the body by Connolly's negligence at best and malice with the intent to defraud at worst. Upon information and belief, the wrongful and fraudulent extraction of millions of dollars by Connolly and his business associates from a patient he knew to be confused, dependent, weakened, and in an addicted state. Testimony from Connolly's business partner that he has defrauded dozens of his athletes and celebrity client base by charging them for natural stone diamonds orthodontics, but in reality...
Wait. Business partner that he has defrauded dozens of his athletes and celebrity client base by charging them for natural stone diamond orthodontics, but in reality using cheap lab-grown diamonds for as much as 15,000%. Oh, sir. All these people that you see with diamonds in their teeth. If this is true, GG, it's fake. You didn't got your teeth ruined for fake diamonds is insane.
Using cheap lab-grown diamonds for as much as a 15,000% in price difference.
I would be sick.
Testimony from Connolly's business partner.
He owes a debt of more than $2 million to a Mexican drug court. And that his cartel owns his surgical practice. He uses it to launder money.
Partner that he owes a
Bro.
debt of more than $2 million to the Mexican drug cartel, and that this cartel owns his surgical
Is this
practice in
true?
Beverly Hills and uses it to launder money. Understand that this guy Thomas Connolly is known for being a celebrity dentist who has apparently done work for people like Shaq,
Come
Lil
on,
Yachty, Justin Jefferson, DaBaby,
Come on.
and many other celebrities.
If I had to credit, who are really the founders of my business, is that the brains are Post Malone and Odell Beckham Jr., and that's why they're partners.
This guy is basically putting diamonds and other fancy things in people's mouths. And obviously one of the other big accusations here is that he has taken lab-grown diamonds, presenting them as real to his clients, and then charging them as if they were naturally grown. For those of you that don't know, lab-grown diamonds are significantly cheaper than ones that grow on Earth, but with the human eye, they are nearly indistinguishable. And can I just acknowledge that this dude looks absolutely insane? Like, I'm not trusting anyone who has their hairline tattooed on. Basically, Milo claims here that Kanye started a relationship with this guy line tattooed on.
His hairline is tattooed on. I knew that mess looked weird.
Basically, Milo claims here that Kanye started a relationship with this guy doing his teeth. He started giving him
That's why he got
access to the
them
laughing
messed up
gas
freaking
nitrous,
titanium on
and
his teeth.
basically got him addicted to the point where Kanye would do anything to keep him in-house so he could have a steady supply of the laughing gas, no matter what the
Nah, bro, you really got to watch who's on your team, bro. He's really putting him on drugs so he can take his money. That's
cost. And Milo claims that this guy, without any real experience in business, wanted to restructure the entire Yeezy company himself. With no experience in either music or fashion, and without examining a single document or interviewing a single member of staff, Connolly proposed widespread and disruptive changes to Yeezy's structure and operations, without even knowing what they were, and offered himself as the ideal candidate to lead the business and revivify the company's fortunes. Although he knew nothing about the business and supplied no business plan or assessment of the company's financials, because he didn't know them, Connolly nonetheless insisted that he could not accept any less than $2.4 million a year.
$2.4 million a year? Nah, he's scamming, bro. He is scamming, bro.
Compensation. In his plan, he allegedly detailed that his primary goals were to build the Drome, which was supposed to be some sort of city in the Middle East. His next goal was allegedly to build the personal use N202
That's why Kanye
system,
wanted to build a freaking
and then
city.
to build some sort of Yeezy car. I mean,
Jesus.
if that is all true, that is just an absolute garbage.
Did I just see that?
Build some sort of Yeezy car.
Oh, nah, bro. That's... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Please don't make that. Please don't make that. Niggas gonna think we the aliens gonna come here and they gonna go away because they think we the aliens, bro. Which we are, but like, bro, they gonna be looking at us funny. Like, I do not want to see nobody driving a triangle, a pyramid, bro. A pyramid, bro. A pyramid, bro.
Car? I mean, if that is all true, that is just an absolute garbage plan of action. I did find this interview from last year where he sounds very intrigued by the idea of the personal use anesthesia.
I think a segue between the two worlds would be the local anesthesia route. There's no reason why tattoo artists aren't giving local anesthetic.
By April, employees at all levels of the company were worrying about Ye's dependence on the gas and speaking openly about it. Ye talked about it nonstop in meetings. He seemed to be in and out of the inhaler mask on a near constant basis, even posting a video message to MMA fighter Ryan Garcia on the subject. A division head with years of experience working closely with Ye confided to me that it was like speaking to an entirely different person. It was around that time that one of the junior staff confessed that he had seen Connolly hauling 4 large surgical tanks of nitrous oxide into Bianca Sensori's apartment, and that something had told him to take a couple of photographs. A long-standing vendor told me, in apparent amazement, how casually Connolly talked about putting Ye under, understanding him to mean full anesthesia, for no apparent medical purpose, as though it were a normal part of his everyday life. A bill was received and paid for over $61,000 by Yeezy.
Bro, $61,000, bro. Hold up. So 60 times 12. Yo, $732,000 on laughing gas a year is insane, bro.
anesthesia and nitrous
Yo.
gas. Some sort of inside source also informed him that Connolly continues to collect fees
He was spending
of this
almost a
size from
mil on
Kanye,
it.
as well as flights and hotels and destinations such as Paris and Florence. And basically, prolonged use of this stuff can do some serious damage to not only your mind, but also your body. I was told over the telephone by a Yeezy employee who wished to remain anonymous that they directly witnessed DA self-administering the nitrous gas provided by Connolly. Most disturbingly of all, I learned that Connolly had moved into the apartment building Ye resided at during this period
What?
at Ye's expense, giving Connolly's familiarity with rap and hip-hop music stars, many of whom have been clients in the past. There can be no doubt that he was aware of Ye's psychological vulnerabilities. Milo would also go on to share a group message that was allegedly between him, Kanye, and this dentist, where the dentist allegedly speaks about wanting to build this personal nitrous machine. This needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized. To which Milo posed these questions.
Causes birth defects, problem with B12, your spinal cord disintegrates. What? Which introduce another drug to an already depressed, addicted, demoralized, and pathetic population of dopamine
And
slaves.
Kanye says allegedly, "Can I have nitrous
Can I have nitrous today, Tom?" He said, "Bring them by today."
today? Tom, you said you'd bring them by today. Checking in. Kanye's new chief of staff would actually respond to these claims, sort of, saying that Kanye is the healthiest and happiest he's been in a long time after taking a break from social media, and that the toxic people who used and abused him are now out of the picture. Milo also claims that when he was put in charge that he noticed that Kanye's company was burning money at a massive rate, and that most of it was going towards nothing productive. And he really does make it seem like several people here were taking Kanye for a free ride, leeching off his wealth and taking advantage of his trust and his bad mental health. Even claiming that someone named Paul Johnson had seized assets from Kanye, including Grammys, birth certificates of his children, and apparently even his mother's death certificate. I mean, obviously, guys, it's impossible to know how many of these claims can actually be
Bro, that's true. That's crazy.
And this guy Milo is not known for being the most trustworthy source, but a lot of what he says here, at least to me, looks like it could possibly be legit. Especially given some of the interviews I've watched with this guy Tom Connolly, and how anxious he seems to further evolve the personal use of anesthesia and N2O2. I guess I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if there was some truth to these statements. Obviously, if this was a legit affidavit, he could be tried for perjury, and that would be a federal offense if he is lying, so he's really kind of putting his life on the line here. And that's not to even mention the Mexican cartel, which can obviously be extremely powerful. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this down below.
The cartel's
I think
after
it
him.
would definitely explain some of Kanye's more crazy behavior over the last couple of years. Did you listen to his new project? Did you think it was trash? Did you...
His new project was big, but that being said, bro, this is insane, bro. I didn't know all this was going on. I knew he was crazy, but the past couple years, he been getting even more crazy, bro. So this is true. Explain some of it. But that'll be all.